Well, in conversation with the next episode, here it is. And what do we have for you? The continuation of the month dedicated to children. Celebrating children in the month of November is what we are doing. And the next guest we have, her name, Miss Sanjana Bhatt. Most of you would have known her as the first winner, or rather the winner of the first edition of the Mrs. YGP quiz that was held recently. She aced it. Out of 22,000 children who took part, she was the winner. Well, let's quickly get to know her. She is from PSBB school in Chennai, and she is in class 8. So let's speak to her and get to know her more. Sanjana, thank you so much for joining us today. Lovely to have you
Thank
here.
you for having me today.
Well, so now tell us, Sanjana, how was your experience in the quiz, Mrs. YGP quiz?
I think it was great. I got to learn a lot of new things. So about the prelims, they were easy, but there was always a little bit of trepidation that whether you can complete it and how the questions would be. Keep wondering about how the following rounds would be. So, but as the quarterfinals and semifinals, I felt the questions were easy, but there's always that thing you need to be fast on the buzzer, so your brain has to work at the same time. So that's what I felt was the one of many participants.
Oh, very nice. Looks like you have analyzed the quiz pretty well. So, Sanjana, I have actually interacted with you before, not only for Dr. YGP quiz, but also for also at the final of TCS Ion Intelligim twice, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah.
All right, and you won both the times, correct? Am I right?
I did.
All right. So I know that the TCS Ion Intelligent quiz, the one you won, was the financial literacy quiz. So it was a finance quiz.
Yeah.
And here, Dr. YGP quiz was an India-specific quiz. To separate topics poles apart, if I may say so. So tell me, what kind of a quizzer are you? I mean, you're good at finance, you're good at an India quiz. What kind of a quizzer are you?
I try to focus on all topics possible. So I read for the purpose of knowledge, not for winning the quiz or for preparing specifically. So in a quiz, like whenever they ask me a question, there's some information somewhere in some corner of my brain which helps me answer. It just falls into place and I'm able to answer. So I do it for the sake of knowledge. I'm not bothered about whether I win the quiz or not.
We at one of the Tata Crucibles, one of our chief guests had told us, always play the game beyond the prize. I think that is what you have just explained in your own manner and your own way. And you're absolutely right. When we play the game to win it, we always end up making those tiny little mistakes that actually set us back. But when you do it for the sake of for the knowledge and because you're enjoying it, then I think it's a whole different ball game. But tell me, Sanjana, how do you prepare? Because the way you explained just now, telling, there's somewhere in your brain and you're able to retrieve it, it kind of sounded like your brain is Google to me. So explain to me, how do you prepare yourself?
So I choose first. I sit down before any quiz and I think of what the main topic of the quiz is. Say for this particular quiz, it was an India quiz. So I thought about and I first listed what are the topics that come under India, like what are the main things that constitute India: history, geography, politics, culture, and all those things. So say I'm taking politics. So I first read about the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, and then from Prime Minister I go to the past prime ministers of India, and that leads me to Jawaharlal Nehru, and then I read about the cabinet of Jawaharlal Nehru. So it's like a tree; it keeps branching. Each topic leads to a new one. So that's what I can read a lot in that manner.
So I'm guessing you love to read, right?
I love to read. I read a lot of books.
Do you have glasses?
Yeah, I do. A lot of fun.
You do? Oh, okay, no problem. All of us do. The reason I asked is because you read so much, right? It sometimes so happens when you're a bookworm, you actually end up having those nerdy glasses. All of us do, don't worry. And all of us at Grey Caps, we love our books. And my entire team, you must see, all of us have our own personal libraries and we're very possessive about our books. We don't necessarily loan our books to anybody that easily. So we are very possessive of our books. So I completely get that. But tell me, what kind of reading habits do you have? Any specific genre when it comes to books? Other than preparing yourself for contests like quizzes, what kind of reading do you do?
I just read whatever I have with me. If it's a magazine, newspaper, a storybook, comic book, anything. As long as it's a
Okay.
book and I can read it.
Okay. Any favorites?
I do like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, the usual ones.
Okay, all right, lovely. And what else do you do other than quizzing? What are your other hobbies?
I play badminton because I believe that it's always important to have a balance between academics and physical fitness. And then I also sing because I just like singing, and I believe it's an important part of Indian culture. So I love Carnatic music too.
Lovely. Quizzer, badminton player, and you sing, and especially you love Carnatic music. That's lovely. That's a very good combination of everything that you have. Definitely, like you said, you need to have a good balance. Looks like you're able to strike that good balance for yourself. All right. So, what do you want to be in life? What's your ambition?
I'm really not sure. It's still a long way to go, so I think I'll
Any,
think of it over time.
any specific field in mind?
Definitely mathematics or science because I love those two topics.
Mathematics and science. And let me tell you something, there's nothing wrong about not knowing what you want to do at this age. Believe me, most people may not really know this, but I did not know what I wanted to do till the time I completed my post graduation. So on one hand, you may think that you are very confused. On the other hand, by not deciding, you actually keep all your options open. So you can choose any option or any road that you want to take. So that actually is the positive way of looking at things. All right, Sanjana. So before we move on, Sanjana, tell us, is there anything that you would want to give as a message to all the children out there of your age?
I just want them to believe in themselves that they can do whatever they want. It's their choice. And then they can also try to get as much knowledge as they can because it's going to help them in some way or the other. Knowledge is never waste. So it's always
Amazing.
going to be there for them in life.
You know, you must write this down, okay? Write this down as Sanjana's quotes. It's very important that you do that. Tell me, is there any experience from, you take part in many quizzes, in many competitions and contests, right? And I'm sure you interact with a lot of people because you take part in such activities. Any experience that's very dear to you, close to your heart?
I think the closest one to my heart is this YGP quiz because first it's conducted by my school, so that's what gives it a very sweet victory. And then and then I was the only girl in the quiz, and because YGP ma'am always supported the empowerment of girls and women, she always felt that there was nothing a man can do that a woman cannot do better. And then I'm also in 8th standard, so this was my first and last try at the quiz. So I felt that I would be filled with a sense of regret if I didn't win this. So that's what egged me on to win this quiz.
Lovely, Sanjana. You're absolutely right. Ladies and gentlemen, she was the only girl in the finale of Dr. YGP quiz, and she won it. And if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, I think at TCS Ion Intelligim, the first time you took part in the finance quiz, you were the youngest on stage, right?
Yeah, even
Yeah. Yes, and I think the oldest was somewhere in class 9, was it?
the first time it was in class 8, and then the second time it was in 9th.
Yes, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Age does not matter. The amount of hard work that you put in and the passion that you have for what you want to do in life matters the most. There you go. That's Sanjana for you. Sanjana, thank you so much for joining us today and being a part of this. Lovely to have you with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Sanjana for you. You take care and be back soon. Many more interesting stories coming up. Take care and be back.